There you go. All right, we are up on YouTube. And I'm pretty sure I saw Evans. There he is. The whole face even, not just the eyes. I love it. And not at Target. We were making fun of you, Evans.
Oh.
Now I got to mute myself on YouTube. All right, can you all hear me? Yes, thank you, thank you. All right, I think we will get started. Welcome everybody to our pinning ceremony for our December 2020 practical nursing graduates from Dakota County Technical College. My name is Renee LeMieux and I am the Director of Nursing and one of the faculty members. And also with us are our faculty members, Brenda Arneson, Jill Holden, and Janet Rainford, and also Dr. Ron Erickson. Before we begin, I just want to kind of give you a little preface of what pinning is. Pinning is a time-honored tradition that celebrates the hard work and dedication necessary to be successful in completion of a nursing program. By awarding these graduates their nursing pin, which is right here, this is what they all got. Some of them have lost them already. It's okay. The faculty welcome these individuals into the nursing profession. Pinning dates back to the 12th century when knights were awarded a Maltese cross for their contributions serving the sick and the wounded. The mother of modern nursing, Florence Nightingale, was awarded the Red Cross of St. George for her tireless efforts during the Crimean War. Florence in turn began awarding a Medal of Excellence to her brightest students, and there you have our brightest students today. Today, the faculty at DCTC carry on this tradition as we celebrate the December 2020 graduating class of practical nurses. And I will now turn it over to our Dean, Dr. Ron Erickson.
Thank you very much, Renee. It's a pleasure to be here this evening. It's really fun to be able to look at everyone's face. I'm sure that it is a real joy to be able to see each other without all kinds of PPE in place. And congratulations to all of you this evening. This is a very informal kind of graduation. And so I have not mastered the art of reading a speech while Zooming very well. So you'll have to put up with me. It's also a fact that we do share our home with 3 very loud and boisterous dogs. So at any one point in time, you may hear one or more of them chime in as well. It's a real honor for me to be with you this evening. And I wanted to speak just a few minutes about why it's such an honor to be with you this evening, especially this year at this time. If you think back just 1 year ago tonight, it's amazing to realize just how different the world has become. A year ago tonight, very few of us likely knew of a place called Hunan province in China. None of us likely had ever heard of a term COVID or COVID-19. Very few of us may have known that some viruses have spikes on their surface made of protein, as the COVID-19 does. and few of us likely knew what the term aerosolized even meant. None of us could have imagined 1 year ago tonight that the leading cause of death in America would not be cancer, and it would not be heart disease 1 year later. No one could have imagined an entire country where so many hospitals and so many ICU units have been overrun and overfilled for the sick and the dying. And no one could have imagined thousands of people dying without their family near them. And all those things came to pass in just 1 year, less than that. There was one other thing that I couldn't imagine when the pandemic struck. As a dean, I'm paid to worry. I'm paid to worry about enrollment in many different programs that fall under my watch. And last March, when I left the campus for the very last time, I began to worry about one program in particular, one program that I was certain would see a great drop in enrollment once prospective students realized that the danger facing them after graduation would simply be too much. Can you guess which program that was? It's the program you're graduating from tonight. I worried, who will want to be a nurse? Who would choose such a job in the middle of a pandemic to put their own life at risk and the health of their own families? Who would ever be that courageous? Who would ever be that dedicated? Who would ever be that committed? I felt certain that the program would suffer greatly in enrollment because of what was happening. Well, you know the answers to the questions I just posed. You are that courageous. You are that dedicated. And you graduates are that committed to helping others in time of such great need. And that's why I'm so honored to be with you tonight. You're a far braver person than I am, each of you. Those pins you receive, treat them as badges of honor and badges of courage. You are heroic. And for as long as you live, and likely years after that, your families and your children will never forget and will talk of this time when in the middle of this darkness, you stepped into your role as a nurse. You were the hand that helped. You were the voice that comforted. And you were the friend who was there when no one else could be there. Thank you for listening, and congratulations to you all.
Thank you, Dr. Erickson. I couldn't say it better myself. Now I'm going to move on to our first student speaker, which is Jared Nyaboga.
Thank you, Renee. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jared Nyaboga, and I'm really honored to speak as one of the student speakers tonight. I will start by thanking God for giving us victory, protecting us, and giving us good health during this difficult time of global pandemic. I also would like to thank our family members and friends for taking time from their busy schedule and be here to celebrate with us. I think we will be known as the class who wasn't afraid to speak up. I believe collectively we send our instructors numerous frustrating emails and messages seeking for guidance and answers. The instructors can testify to us that some of those emails were not so kind, but I believe they were aware of the frustration and anxiety we were going through. Thank you, my classmate, for working as a team and being your brother's keeper by ensuring everyone is doing the assignment and meeting the set deadlines. I thank all of you who are so active on our Facebook page, giving us updates and reminding us of what needed to be done. I believe each one of us had that one friend who will always check on you every time to make sure you are on track. I remember most of the time I will be seated on my couch relaxing, only to get a call from Evans reminding me of the assignment that was due. I thank you, Evans, for being a true friend in this journey. Some of us here tonight completed this program despite circumstances out of our control. My Kenyan community, I salute you. It's difficult being away from your family, especially your immediate family. I know how it feels because I'm on the same boat. Many times you have assignment to work on and deadline to meet. That is when you'll get that urgent call that need your attention. My fellow nurses, you now hold the power to instill laughter in a critically ill child life, teach a chronically ill adult way to bring back normalcy in their life, share in the joy of a woman's firstborn son. Let that young adult know it's okay that he hears strange voices or listen to an elderly woman recipe for the perfect oven-baked chicken, even though she no longer has the strength to make it anymore. These are the moments that you cannot take for granted. You have joined a career path where quality like empathy, care, and autonomy are of the utmost importance. I know that each and every one of you here tonight will take these tools you have learned, use this newfound power wisely, weave it into your clinical practice, and make it your own. Thank you to our families and loved ones who supported us, gave us your shoulder to cry, even though we completely ignored you for many months. Thank you to our instructors for every support you gave us throughout this program. My fellow nurses, if you remember anything from tonight, I want it to be this: you are amazing. Take chances. Don't ever think you can't do something because you can. And you are never too old to make a change in your life. The goal that seems too hard to climb for is the goal you should fight viciously to obtain. When that little voice inside you says, oh no, you can't do this, you need to make a fist and crush it because it's a lie. You will and you did, and here we are together tonight celebrating it. And lastly, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord God is with you whenever you go. I thank you and congratulations all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jared. Very well said. And we have one more student speaker to share her perspective with us, and that is Amanda Bosold.
Hello. I want to thank all the family and friends out there watching this in the safe, socially distanced virtual audience that is our world these days. Although we weren't able to have the traditional pinning ceremony that we all dreamt about and hoped for, it still means the world to us to have you all here to share in this very special moment. I want to thank all of our instructors for their never-ending optimism and encouragement through the constant changes that have had to happen due to the pandemic. You constantly made yourselves available whenever we needed anything, and I mean anything. Sometimes it was something typical, like we just needed clarification on an assignment or an explanation for how we could improve in an area that we hadn't done so well on. Other times, it was your willingness to respond to our panic and anxiety-ridden emails and text messages at all hours of the day and night, explaining how we were freaking out and weren't sure if we could do this. You told us that we, in fact, could do this, that we needed to have faith in ourselves and to trust our gut. And well, here we all are. You all played such an important role in us making it here today. And I think that I can speak for all of us when I say that we will forever be grateful for all that you have done helping us succeed. Nursing school is unbelievably hard. Not just difficult and frustrating at times because you didn't do well on a test or an assignment, but no joke, test your mental strength kind of hard. On day one of our first semester, the cohort ahead of us came to our first class to speak about what we should expect in nursing school. Of all the study tips, apps to download, extra books, anything that would help us excel, what stuck out to me the most that day was that they told us we should expect to cry at least once a week. That it was completely normal to feel overwhelmed and break down at times. Although their honesty was appreciated, I'm sure I wasn't alone in trying to process that information and hope it wouldn't end up being true for our group. But they were wrong. And I don't mean they were wrong and we didn't cry. I mean that I personally cried at least 3 or 4 times a week out of full-on frustration and irritation at myself for not understanding certain things or doing well on something. But what kept me going is the group you see before you today. This group of inspiring future nurses that refuse to give up, continue to fight, and were determined to prove that this is what they wanted, and that no matter how many tears were shed, they were going to get through it and make it to the end. I had some really kind of all over the place nursing quotes, and I picked 2 of them that I thought would be good for today. The definition of a nurse is to go above and beyond the call of duty, the first to work and the last to leave, the heart and soul of caring, a unique soul who will pass through their life for a minute and impact it for an eternity, an empowered individual whom you may meet for only a 12-hour period, but who will put you and yours above theirs. And this one is for my classmates, my cohort. Nursing school friendships are a different kind of love, like I'll hold the butt cheeks while you clean the butt crack kind of love. Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you, Amanda. Of course, you ended with that one because that is you, and it's perfect. Thank you for the student speakers. I know it's not everybody's favorite thing to talk in front of folks, so we do appreciate it. And now we're going to move on to the reason we're all here this evening, which is to recognize our graduates. Each of the grads was asked to select a sponsor, and a sponsor is someone who has played an important role in their journey to get to where they are today. We understand the sacrifices that were made by many of you so that your graduate would be successful. So tonight is also about you. I will read about each sponsor as a graduate earns their pin. If your graduate did not submit a sponsor, I have no other option than to share my own special words about them. And I was even dared to ad lib about one of them today, although she did submit a late submission. I may still have to ad lib for her as well. I know we all wish we could be together in person today. However, this platform seems fitting considering the challenges the last year has brought us. The students had just started hitting their stride in the program and were ready for spring break. Unfortunately, they got more of a break than they bargained for, and school as they knew it would never look the same again. But this group has showed determination, resilience, and a finely honed senses of humor, which were necessary to maintain their sanity and their ability to persist. They banded together, virtually of course, to keep each other on task. They quickly identified who was the most organized and who to turn to if they needed a laugh to get through the day. They learned to embrace the value of their education in a way that would not have happened had we not had a pandemic. They learned to be adaptable, some better than others, of course, but most importantly, they learned to trust themselves. When each of you looks back to 2020, I hope the first thing you think of is that it truly was Year of the Nurse. The pandemic was a stage where nurses shined in a way we had not seen since the early 1900s. Nurses didn't complain about wearing a mask or being quarantined, as they knew their work was important to the health of all, and that the health of all surpasses the wishes of a few. Nurses acknowledge that every life is precious, and therefore they forge into battle every single day without concern for themselves. If they can make one person's life brighter, their battle has been worth it. Each of you is heading into battle now. Be assured you have the tools necessary to be a vital member of the healthcare team. You are amongst the most trusted in America. You are nurses. Remember, with the title of nurse comes great responsibility. Aside from your technical competence, always remember it is your words, your compassion, and your extra effort that will make you a great nurse. I know each of you is capable of anything that you set your mind to. And with that, we will start the presentation of the pins. And the first recipient is Miss Emily Bernarding. Emily's sponsor is her parents, Mike and Heather Bernarding. And Emily writes, thank you, Mom and Dad, for supporting me through this whole journey. Thank you for being there when I was grumpy and tired. Those times when I was so stressed out with homework that I lashed out on everybody. You guys encouraged me and told me I was a superstar. Anything is possible when you have parents like I do. I love you guys so much. Thanks for helping me become a nurse. One of Emily's favorite memories from school was, she said, my favorite memories from this journey are all of the funny moments we had in clinical or in lab time. When a fellow classmate wrote up a med sheet for a wet rag, this I need to hear more about. I didn't think I would ever stop laughing. Also the day I gave Renee a fake manto, and she said it was perfect and told all the other students come to see. That was quite amazing. It was a perfect manto. And Emily is going to be working at 3 Links Care Center, where she currently works as a nursing assistant. And she hopes to switch to working at a clinic sometime in the near future, and also has plans to go back to school to get her RN in the fall. Congratulations, Emily. Here's your pin. Next up is Amanda Bosold. And I have to switch. Awesome. Oh, and I have to Okay, sorry for my technological challenges. Amanda's sponsor is Ashton Burke. Ashton, you've always been and will always be what I am most proud of in this world. You were my motivation for going to nursing school, and what has kept me going each and every time that I was struggling and felt like giving up was when you'd say, Mom, my mom's a nurse. I would get this warm feeling in my heart because not only did I believe that that is what I was meant to do, but you had faith in me from the very beginning. That is where I was supposed to be. I love you more than anything, and without your encouragement, whether you were even aware of it or not, is what got me through it all. Thank you for being one of my biggest cheerleaders and for pushing me to get where I want to be in life. One of Amanda's favorite memories is I have a few top moments from my journey at DCTC. but some of them are best kept for smaller private group discussions. I think Sim Lab has to be one memory that is right up there at the top of the list, though, because the amount of laughter that came out of Sim Lab was amazing. Being able to put aside my performance and social anxiety for a good cause in order to play a family member of a patient was a real eye-opening experience, not just for me, but everyone else in my group. I used all of my past experiences dealing with some of the most out of control family members of patients I was caring for to create what I called a nursing student's worst nightmare. I believe that I achieved that status, and I've heard that is true, and have no doubt that others in my group would agree. They do. What's next for Amanda? My plans are to get some time in as an LPN until I go back to school next fall to get my BSN. I've been lucky enough to have a position as an LPN waiting for me at the company I currently work for. So as soon as I pass the NCLEX, I will move into that job and begin working as an actual licensed practical nurse instead of just doing the job and not getting paid for it. Thank you, Amanda. I gotta find Megan here. Megan, our next student is Megan Bergeson, and I have to find her stuff here on my phone. Megan's sponsor is her husband, Chad. She says, as you know, it took me a while to come to this point in my life. For so long, you have supported our little family, and I cannot thank you enough for that. You saw how much happiness my work brought me, and you knew I would thrive in nursing. You were right. This is definitely where I need to be, and I couldn't have done it without you. I love you and appreciate you. Our girls sacrificed time with mom, but did so with understanding. I love you, Raya and Ruby, for helping me in my journey to become a nurse. I hope this shows you that it is never too late to do something you love and to better yourself. I'm not crying, you're crying. Her favorite memory at DCTC. The practical nursing program at DCTC started off to be what any normal semester in nursing school would look like. We would attend lectures that fed us a ton of information, eat our lunches together, while we talked about the chaos that was nursing school and cramming for test after test. We all began to bond as most cohorts going through this experience do. Then the pandemic began and everything changed in ways we never knew they could. However, as a cohort, we stepped up. We all had the option to withdraw until the next semester or quit completely, and we didn't. We began to lean on each other and make sure we all made it to the finish line. And we did. And to be frank, we kicked. She put an expletive there. I'll say but. I made friends that I will not let forget me, even if they try. And that is something to treasure in and of itself. I will forever be grateful for the encouragement, the faith, support, and trust that we received from our teachers. We could have not come this far without them. Also, Renee, I know you will miss me. Don't cry. What's next for Megan? I am currently on the nursing team for Living Well Disability Services. This job is what started it all for me, and I'm so happy to be able to continue the wonderful work that we do. I may pursue my RN, but for now, I am very happy with where I am. Well done, Megan. Here's your pin. This is what your pin looks like when you find it. All right, next is McKay Danielson. We're going to bring up McKay. We have to show off McKay because we rarely got to see McKay on screen, or at least without a hood on. So we're very happy to see that he has hair. McKay's sponsor is Jean Hartman, who is his grandmother. And he says, my amazing grandma has been so positive throughout 2020, even though she's had her fair share of hardships. She's brave, positive, and the greatest mom and grandmother. So thankful for her. McKay's favorite memory was clinicals in semester 1, even though it was short. That's because he always had a coffee. I'm not sure who gets to work like that. And McKay is going to be working at Oak Terrace in Jordan, where he currently works as a nursing assistant. Thank you, McKay. Okay. Next up is Kathleen Fee, or as we know her, Kate or Katie, depended on the day. Kate's sponsor is Tegan Fee, who is her daughter, correct? Yes. Tegan Fee, you amaze me every day and gave me the inspiration to go back to college. Without you and many more, I wouldn't have had the confidence to do something so drastic in my life. Love you, Mom and Travis. A favorite story from DCTC is I'm a much older student and felt right at home at DCTC. I would recommend it 100% to friends and family or anyone who wants a great education. The school is really a hidden gem. And Kate will continue staying working at Serenity, where she currently is a nursing assistant and specializes in geriatric care. Older student, my Heine. Thank you, Kate. Okay, I'm struggling to find. Our next student is Brittany Gulbranson. And I gotta find her so I can highlight her. There she is. Brittany's sponsor is her husband, Alec. Thank you for your continued support during this last year. It has been a challenge and the pandemic was no help. You've been there for me from the beginning, but this last year was one of my toughest academic years, and you were there to support me through it all. I wouldn't have been able to finish this without you, and for that, I thank you. A favorite memory of Brittany's was actually their very last day being on campus together for a test, nonetheless. We got to actually receive our pins in person from our teacher, and we got to see each other in person one last time. We were all in high spirits, smiling and excited for the next steps with each person we have gotten to know over the last year. What a great way to end a stressful and challenging year. Amen. And what's next for Brittany is she's going to take the NCLEX soon, hopefully, get a job and hoping to stay at her current place of employment, which is at Woodbury Healthcare Center. And I'm going to have a baby in May. So she did all this and morning sickness. And if she can make it to graduation in May, she will sure to be there. And I'll hold the baby. It's fine. It's fine. Congratulations, Brittany. Here's your pin. Next up is Brandy Gundry. And I made sure I said it correct this time. And let me find Brandy. There's Brandy. Brandy's sponsor is her husband, Jake, to which she says, "You are the worst patient ever and so difficult, and you know what I'm talking about. This will make me a resilient, strong, knowledgeable, and patient nurse. Thank you." To end on a more positive note, thank you for dealing with all the not so fun stuff that came along with nursing school. You're an awesome husband, a great father, and so supportive. Go team. Brandy writes, "I really enjoyed our first and last in-person simulation with Brenda, Amanda, Stacy, Patrick, McKay, and Megan. Amanda was hilarious. I know Megan didn't think it was funny at the time, but I'm guessing she looks back on it fondly now, maybe. The other weird memory I have is adult health with Brenda. We were talking about viruses right at the beginning of the semester, and she mentioned COVID and how scary it was. I had the thought, oh man, that would be terrible if somehow it came over here. Didn't think much of it then, and then 2020 happened. What a wild ride." Brandy will be working as an LPN at Planned Parenthood, and we'll see where the journey takes her for a while. She's not opposed to going back to school, but she says, "We will see. I need a break, and so does my family." Congratulations. Next up is Isabella Moranga. And where is Isabella? Trying to find Isabella in my stuff so you can see her beautiful face. I saw her. Not everybody has their name on here, making this harder for me. Oh, there she is, and that's her name. There we go. We couldn't move on without spotlighting Isabella. Isabella's sponsor is me, Oh, I would really like to appreciate you from the bottom of my heart for the kind words of encouragement you gave me, especially when things seemed to be impossible. You always found a way for me to handle them. More so the last semester, that was so challenging with the adoption of online learning. Things were tough for me, and I almost dropped out of the program, but your words of encouragement kept me moving, and I would like to say a big thank you. A big you're welcome. Favorite memory at DCTC? One day I came to class late due to the rail crossing, which kept me waiting for almost 30 minutes. I know that train. And I had a test that day. I remember when I was in the car waiting, not knowing what to do. I tried to call my friends to let the teacher know that I was running late, but that is when I realized I had forgotten my phone at home as well. So I had to wait pensively for the train to cross and went to class and found out the quiz had started and had to wait out until the other students were done. And then I could do it. I love that that's a favorite memory. To me, that sounds horrifying. You always have the positive outlook. And Isabella has a job offer at Ebenezer Ridge's Care Center already, where she works as a nursing assistant. Congratulations, Isabella. Next, we have Evans Matara. And I know he's in here. I have to find his face. Evans. There he is. Evan's wife, Elizabeth Kwamboka, is his sponsor. He says, thank you for standing up with me and supporting me even when everybody was against me. Thank you for your lovely wishes. You took good care of my lovely children while I was busy with my schedule. And above all, thank you for your prayers every day, which has led me this far. May you be blessed. A favorite memory was my college life, which started at DCTC, was not easy until I met caring and encouraging tutors like Renee and Brenda. They really did their best to see me move ahead. Can't have enough words to appreciate them, but wish them a life full of blessings. All you had to do was smile, Evans, and that was it. You would just sit back and grin. Evans plans to take a little break to have some family time before he goes on for his RN later in the year. Great idea. Congratulations. Next is Lydia LeMieux. And I just saw her. So I was just saying before this started that next year I hope we can do this in person so that you don't have to suffer through Renee's lack of technological skills. And here is Lydia. There she is. Lydia's sponsors are Bisang Iyang Favor, Bisang Iyang Victory, and Bisang Iyang Dominion, which are her children. Though times never last, tough times never last, but people do. I know it's been a difficult time in our family with me being thousands of miles away. I want you to all know that you are always in my mind. Of you hanging on there for me gives me the drive and inspiration to be where I am today. Sometimes I feel like giving up, but on a second thought, when I remember I have prayer warriors like you praying for me, I regain my confidence. Continue to have faith, will overcome in Jesus' name. Much love from Mommy. I dedicate this diploma to you as a token of my appreciation for your patience and prayers for me. A favorite memory of Lydia's was a particular day we were supposed to take an exam and I was late. Everyone was already in class but me, and Renee asked everyone to turn around and look at me when I walked through the door. It wasn't malicious. When I came in, I had about eyes all looking at me. I felt embarrassed, but it was really funny as I joined the whole class in laughter. Good laugh that brightened my day. And sometimes you giggle at the beginning of a test to make it go right. And her plans are she is working on getting a job at her present place of work, and she hopes to return to school and get her RN. Congratulations, Lydia.
Thank you.
Then we have Beatrice Ndege. And here she is. There's B. We know her as B, but she's officially Beatrice. Her sponsor is her daughter Edith Otwori. My daughter has been an inspiration since I started this journey. She has given me hope when I almost gave up, because you all know how nursing can take all of your happiness. My daughter is helping to take care of our newborn. She had another baby girl during the semester, went in crisis with assignments so that I can make it through. And today I'm with so much joy that good things never come easy. Thank you, all my family, for great support, and God bless. A favorite memory of B's was I remember how Renee encouraged me when I almost quit from the program because I did not pass pharm. So I went to her crying, but she told me, B, you will make it. Just remind yourself that you're going to make it. And for sure I did. So I say thank you for all you do to help someone not give up. I knew you could do it. And her goals are to work in a pediatric clinic because she loves kids. Congrats, B.
Thank you.
Next is Evelyn Niwa. And there she is. And there's Evelyn. Look at her. We're so used to everybody in ponytails and masks. Evelyn's sponsor is Judy Tall, which is her coworker. And she said, thanks for encouraging me to consider the nursing field when I was at the lowest point of my life and did not know what I wanted to do. Your inspiration and always helping me learn on the job got me here today. And thanks to my children, Ashley and Eli, for being patient with me through this special time of our lives. A favorite memory at DCTC will remember that what I remember the most is that how everyone is so willing to assist when you ask for help, and they all want you to succeed. Evelyn was offered a job working as a nurse on the floor where she works at Northridge. And then until she takes the NCLEX, which hopefully will be soon. So she's just waiting for that phone call and to take the NCLEX. Congratulations, Evelyn.
Thank you.
Next, we have Jared Nyaboga. We've seen this evening, there he is. Jared's sponsor is his wife, Vida Carubo. He says, to my wonderful and loving wife, your compassion, strength, conditional love are what carried me through. This journey would not have been possible without your support. Thank you for taking my role as a father to our children when I was busy taking care of many assignments and studying for exams. I greatly appreciate your loving patience and understanding. You are a blessing in my life, and I wouldn't be where I am today without your inspiration and encouragement through this journey. Thank you, Jared. Congratulations.
Okay.
Next, we have David Omwenga. And I'm going to find David here. There he is. So, well, David didn't send me anything earlier, but I do think he sent me a chat or an email somewhere. So hold on here, sir. I'm going to pull it up. David's sponsor is his dear wife, Florence McKinney. She was near me when I needed help. And thanks to the teachers for their great work. See, that's how a nurse, a pinch, you bring it home. Congratulations, David.
Thank you, thank you. Oh, good.
There we go.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome.
Okay.
Next, we have Stacy Schiller. Stacy's sponsor is her fiance, Mike Hansen. And she would like to say Mike was the one who kept pushing me to go back to school and pursue my dream of becoming a nurse, despite the fact I didn't think it would ever happen. He has worked twice as hard, working lots of extra hours to make sure that I could focus all my time on schooling. She did offer herself up as a freeloader, to be fair. So that's kudos to you. Even after working all the extra hours, he would come home and take care of the house and always ask me how studying was going or how I did on every test. He was my rock and the best cheerleader I could have asked for. After every test, he would give me a fist bump, give me a hug, and tell me he knew I would do great. I could not have done this without him. It takes a village, though. Although I've chosen Mike as my sponsor, I could not have done it without the support of my ever-loving parents and brother, who have always believed in me, and my grandparents, who have always cheered me on, and a few close friends that have not only helped me study, but helped keep my sanity in check, which is super important. And Stacy's the organized one, if you didn't pick up on that. Amanda wasn't too shabby in that realm either. A favorite memory of Stacy's was, however, do you choose just one favorite memory when going to school in a pandemic? I think the entire journey was quite memorable. Though we were thrown constant curveballs, I think my favorite thing is that we all found a way to laugh. We laughed at the instructors trying to figure out how to work on Zoom, and we laughed at one another during Zooms because there was always someone sleeping, cleaning, Kate, making funny reaction faces, or the occasional toilet flush. Yes, it did happen. I also will never look at a donut the same way again after Renee transformed them into 6 different, pretty realistic, pus-filled, bloody-looking wounds for us to learn wound cares on. Although gross, they were impressive. And I won't tell you what my mom thought they were. What's next for Stacy? She's accepted a position as an LPN at the Mayo Clinic, and she will be starting in January as a PCA and will be moved to the LPN position once she passes her NCLEX. She will be working for a bit to gain some hands-on experience and then has plans to return to school in the fall to get her RN and hopefully a BSN soon after that. Congratulations. And last, but certainly not least, is Nettie Sangoro. Nettie's sponsor are her parents and me. I would like to thank God for guiding us through the program and giving us the gift of parents, instructors, and friends. Without them, I won't be where I am today. A big thank you for the hard work, paying rent, courage even when I felt like giving up, Renee waking up and driving early morning, organizing all the homework and exams. Nobody thanks me for that. Keep us going even through the pandemic. I never give up, but finding ways to give us the courage to hang on and fight the struggle. It was not easy, but with the courage, support, positive thoughts, compliments, and feedback that I'm doing good kept me going. A favorite memory was I came to DCTC through my friend when we were researching for programs for nursing. I had already done my general classes, done the TEAS exam, but I didn't make it. My friend moved on to Rasmussen, but I couldn't. I found the DCTC as part of the nursing program. I looked up for what they wanted to start the program, the TEAS, dosage calc, etc. And the application went so fast. I couldn't believe because I was going to wait a whole nother year for another semester. I took the opportunity to attend DCTC, and that is when I found Brenda with dosage calc, talked with her immediately, and she told me I can do the nursing assistant exam at DCTC. At the same time, I'd already signed up for the TEAS. Things went well, luckily. I passed the requirements and the journey started, and here I am, a miracle happened. I've gone through the program. If not here, I would have been outside doing nothing but work throughout this year. Nettie is saying next up for her, she's going back to school for the next level and work at where she is currently. Congratulations, Nettie. So I want to take one last moment to congratulate our 2020 graduates. You have all worked very hard for this. Nursing school, even when it's not a pandemic, is a struggle. So you all made that pivot and you made it look, well, maybe not easy, but you did it. Nursing school isn't easy and you are made of tough stuff. I'm going to leave you with a poem. Being a nurse means you will never be bored. You will always be frustrated. You will be surrounded by challenges, so much to do. Familiar so far? You will carry immense responsibility and very little authority. You will step into people's lives and you will make a difference. Some will bless you and some will curse you. You will see people at their worst and at their best. You will never cease to be amazed at people's capacity for love, courage, and endurance. You will see life begin and end. You will experience resounding triumphs and devastating failures. You will cry a lot. You will laugh a lot. You will know what it is to be human, and you will know what it is to be humane. Welcome to the best profession ever. Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you.
And with that,
Thank you,
wraps
Renee.
up our pinning ceremony.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Renee. Great job.
Good night, everybody.
Congratulations,
Good night.
everybody.
Thank you.